Hello, in this video I'm going to talk about achievement vendors. This is something that I kind of wasn't aware of for a while when I first started playing, and so I thought I'd make a video on this. Some kind of neat things that you can do for just overland stuff when you're not able to group with dungeons, trials, or in PvP or whatnot. Give you something to do for overland easy stuff that you can do on your own that could suck up some hours of you want to play the game but you don't know what you want to do. This might be something that you can focus on. So basically, every area in the game has an achievement vendor. For the base game areas, they're all the same pretty much. So if you go anything in the mainland here, Stone Falls, Deshaun's, Shadowfen, the Rift, East March, all those areas for Ebonheart, and then also Bankerai, all these areas here. Rothgar does have its own. It's a DLC. So basically, all the base game vendors are pretty much the same, and they're going to have their own stuff. The Undaunted has its own vendor as well. But then when you get into chapters, and I'll go over that here, Vvardenfell was the first one, and then Summerset, and then after that there was Elsweyr, and then Western Skyrim, and then Blackwood, and then High Isle, and then after that was Necrom or Telvanni, and then West Weald, and now we have Solstice. So what you want to do is you want to go onto your map and you want to find every area. If you go down the list here, there's Magus, Mystic, General, Foods, Merchant, and then there's the Achievement Furnisher. And it always has that symbol that's just to the left. Every time there's a Furnisher, it has that symbol on the map. Now this area in Vvardenfell doesn't have the symbol on the map like that, so you have to find the icon and then locate the vendor inside. So if you go inside the Furnisher here, and then you want to speak to, here's the Achievement Furnisher, this is for this zone, and then there's the Global Furnisher, and then the Homegoods one, and then there's a Holiday Furnisher. So if you want to buy stuff from different events, like there's the Mayhem Jester, and then they also have stuff from the Jubilee. If you liked this stuff, this was all bound during the event, but maybe you didn't get to participate that much, or maybe you didn't get some of this stuff and you still would like to get it. You can buy it from the Holiday Furnisher. There's some New Life Furnishings in here as well, and Witches Festival stuff. So that's the Holiday Achievement Furnisher. And then there's the Homegoods. Now this is the standard kind of, if you wanted to put some stuff in your house that's kind of general, very, very basic, cheap stuff that I suppose there could be a use for some of this, but for me, mostly I wouldn't touch it. But if you want some trees, or just all this stuff this is generic, and this is pretty much in every chapter zone. There's always a home goods furnishing vendor. And then this is the global. So this is this here you can get from the commemorative master fisher. I'm actually working on this right now. You have to get basically every fish in the game from all the zones to be able to buy this, and that's the condition that I was going to bring up, is you usually have to do some sort of achievement to be able to buy this stuff. And so these are PvP furnishings. There's a sky shard here. Essentially, this right here you can buy once you get Master Fisher, which is catching all of the base game fish in the game. But if there's an achievement listed on the bottom restricting you from buying the item, you can always go and look in the achievements. For example, here this one requires Master Commemorative Achievement. So what you want to do is you want to go into the journal, into the achievements, and I can tell you I know where this one is because I'm currently working on it. You go into the character achievement, and then what you want to do is check to show only the ones that you don't have, and the commemorative ones are down here in the anniversary section, and there you can check and see which areas you don't have all the fish done, and then you have to go into that zone and catch the fish to complete this achievement. And then once you have that achievement done, then you can buy this boat if you wanted to, and you can preview it by clicking your right stick to look at what it looks like. But then there's the achievement vendor for this particular zone. So I have not done that much on Vvardenfell, something I still need to work on, but it'll tell you again what achievement you need to complete in order to buy this. And if you've done the achievement, then it'll just enable you to purchase it. But you can look and see if there's anything in this vendor that you might have a use for in one of your houses that you're decorating. I'd say, man, that would be cool. Okay, then you can go focus on that achievement and then come back and buy the item from the store. And some of this stuff is tied to completing the codex like this, which means it's a scryable item that you have to dig up at least 3 times, and then you can just flat out just come buy this rather than trying to get the lead. This as well is a scribal item. This right here you get from being able to do all the missions in Vvardenfell, and then I think you have to do some extra stuff to get this one. That's kind of the hard part about this, is once you have the achievement done, it doesn't tell you what achievement you unlocked in order to buy it. But there's some interesting things in every zone. I'm not going to go to every zone and cover all of them, but check out the achievement vendor in every chapter zone, and then each DLC zone also likely has its own unique vendor. And so I've done the chapters, now I'll do the DLCs. You have Rothgar, and you know what, it's easier to go into the journal and the achievements, and this is how I figure out where to go a lot of times. You have your base game and character achievements here, and then PvP crafting. Dungeons, these are all base game, and then you have the Craglorn trial achievements here. Veteran Dungeons is the base game Vet Dungeons. Exploration, this is a lot of overland stuff and tied to the Alliance War zones. And then Cold Harbor base game and Craglorn and Cyrodiil with Dark Anchors, and then the base game Master Fishing. Quests is again very similar. And then you have Infinite Archive and Housing, which is tied to purchasing houses, decorating houses. Holiday events, this is White Strakes, Jubilee, Jester, New Life, and the Witches Festival, which was going to be tied to this holiday vendor here. And then prologue missions, I'm going to do another video about that as well. But then here, after the prologue, then starts the chapters in order of most recent to oldest. So like I said, there's all the way down to Morrowind. And then here is the DLC section. This is the newest one going down to the oldest. So the oldest one is going to be Imperial City, which is base game, Orsinium, which is Hrothgar, Thieves Guild, and Dark Brotherhood. This is a dungeon DLC. Clockwork City is a zone, so these are all just dungeon pretty much. Then there's Clockwork City as the zone, Murkmire is the zone, Harrowstorm, that's going to be tied to the Reach. Then we have the Deadlands, so you probably have to go to Bargrave for that one. And then Firesong is Galen. And then Fallen Banners is a dungeon DLC. Again, there's no zone tied to this. So you just have to figure out if there's a DLC zone that's going to have its unique vendor. So there's Hrothgar, Galen, and Southern Elsweyr is a DLC, Murkmire, Clockwork City, and the Deadlands, like we covered there. Apocrypha is not really a DLC, it came with Telvanni. But, and then the Reach will have their own unique achievement vendors as well. But how you figure that out, again, you go into a DLC zone and you just follow the achievements and figure out what achievement you need to do in order to buy the item that you're looking at in the achievement vendor. So I thought this was kind of a neat thing to check off and work on when I had some time where not many people were on, but I wanted to play the game and I didn't really know what to work on. This is a great time filler if you look into that and focus on it. You can find some pretty cool achievements, furnishings to buy. Yeah, so check that out. If you like this video, check out my channel. Go into the created playlists that I made and see if there's any other videos on my channel that you might be interested in. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.